Whoa! Hey. Wow, my banjos are ringing. There's some resonance here. How's everybody doing? Let me know if you can see me. And people will trickle in. I hope we have... Well, Mark, if it's just me and you. And Frailer Park. I think this is a new Keep member. And now I'm... Yeah, it may take a couple seconds. Do Wes Dryden. I believe that's Wes. Wes, is that you? Oh! Hey! Does it look okay? Can you hear me? Wes. Yes. Hey, Wes. Wes is a new Keep member. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So awesome to have you. I saw your post, West, in the community section, and West just said, I'm new. Tell us about you, man. Post about yourself. We'd love to hear about yourself. Yeah, well, people will trickle in. This is such a busy time of year that, I don't know. I hope we get a decent amount of people. And if you are good, I'm trying out... Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying out a new way to stream. I'm using the camera that I use to record all of my Banjo Blitz and Banjo Quest videos. So instead of my webcam, I had to buy this box that converts the HDMI signal to Thunderbolt. And so now I can use my good camera. So I hope it looks a little bit better than the other live streams we've had. Of course, it's me you're dealing with, so we can only look so good. Oh, yeah, Mark, go for it. In the meantime, I'm gonna, because there's a delay, try using Zoom. What do you mean? Zoom. You mean like a telephoto type lens? Or is this software? What are you talking about? Oh, you know what? I usually... Where is my paper? This is... Close enough. Okay, Mark. One of the issues is... I'm always looking for a better way to live stream because for me... I think live streaming is very much the future and I want to do more and more of it. And I want to do some live performances here and maybe some remote performances as well. So I'm always looking for ways to do this better. I'm going to look at Zoom. One of the issues, at least for Patreon, is that YouTube meshes with Patreon because they have an agreement. So that makes it a little easier to like post and that sort of stuff, but I'll check it out. Thanks, Mark, for the suggestion. Free for conferences with fewer than 100 people in less than 40 minutes. That would be cool. 40 minutes is that's a good set. That's a good old time set. A 40-minute set is just about right. Okay, good to know. For those of you who are can't participate in the chat, if you just went through the Patreon site, you need to go click on the link that I posted there and it will take you to YouTube and that will open up the chat window and then you can chat and interact. Just be aware there is a delay. There's a delay between YouTube and the chat or me in the chat. So I won't get your messages for a few seconds. Hey, Ad, I'm so glad you could make it. Thank you. Yeah, I've upped my game a little bit. I'm using my normal camera, my good camera, to do my live streams. I ordered a box to allow me to do that. So hopefully the quality is way better than it has been. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it holds up over the next 45 minutes or so to an hour. So let's, people still trickling in. Bottoms up to everybody. This is a little glass of my favorite scotch, my favorite currant scotch. which is Edradour. It's not going to focus because it's trained on my face. And it's from a really tiny distillery in Scotland. I'm still high on my trip to Scotland, so I should be drinking bourbon. I should be just drinking American whiskey right now, probably. But here to all my Scottish friends. If you can find Edradour, look for it. Lance! Lance, Lance! Oh, yes! So glad you could make it. That's the name of the scotch I'm drinking. If any of you guys can find it, it's really good. And it's not expensive for scotch. I'm going to check my phone just to make sure I'm not getting texts. Okay, that can pass. That's probably good at work. Oh, Frailer Park has tea. Okay, tea's good. Tea's good. Yeah, Mark. Get it together, Mark. Scroll, damn it, scroll. So we'll give it just a couple minutes. My daughter is on the other side of that door, dying to get in here, waiting to do a drawing for the next series of Keep members who get to submit a video. I'm still working on one, and that will drop next week. So then I'll be all caught up, and the next batch will start. I'm thinking of drawing 3, and if you guys talk nice to me, I may do 4 drawings tonight. They're really, I'm getting better and better at doing them. At first, they really took me a long time to analyze the video and really kind of figure out my bullet points of how I wanted to, deliver the advice and the critique. Now they're getting a lot easier as I've done a bunch. So just like anything, practice makes perfect. Yes. Ad has mead. What kind of mead are you drinking? I love mead. I've made mead. Haven't all banjo players tried to make mead at some point? It's like those two things go together. I don't know why. I don't know. We got an 8th. Okay, again, if you're coming in a little bit late, if you can't see the chat window, click on the link I left in Patreon. It will take you to YouTube, and then you can participate in the chat. Mark, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I spend a lot of time on those videos, probably longer than I should be doing, but I getting really into it, and I feel like it's a way. When I have lessons here, either via Skype or right here is where my students sit, it's all sort of a lot of it is extemporaneous, and so it goes by so quick. An hour lesson for me goes by so fast, and I'm often left after the lesson thinking, man, I wish I had a record of that, or things came up in that lesson that were important for that student, but also me as a player. It deepens my understanding of the instrument and how to perform and play music. Anyway, analyzing these videos allows me to get a permanent record of how I would teach the person in the video. So it's kind of a nice little, we're getting a nice little catalog of information that, we can all kind of get some little tidbits, little nuggets from. I'm gonna catch up on chat, guys. Peach mead. Ooh, okay, Ad. Nice. I'm gonna drink to Ad and his peach mead. That sounds delicious. That's cool, man. That's cool, Wes. Glad you could make it, Wes. And I'm so glad to have you as a patron at the Keep level. Lance tried to make beer and it was terrible. Okay, here's my quick beer making story. I was really into making beer for a while. I dropped a thermometer into the beer that I was making, and it wasn't done yet. And so I washed my hand really well, and I reached in elbow deep into the vat of beer to retrieve my thermometer. And it became, that batch of beer became known as Banjo Nail Pale Ale, because I used my right hand, which has my banjo nail, my long banjo nail that my friends and family mock me for. Banjo Nail Pale Ale. If we ever start a Banjo Quest brewery, that's what our first beer is going to be called. Yeah, Mark, it's a good idea. I've recorded a couple, and then, I don't know. It's nice to have a text. It's nice to have text I love text. Does anybody else like text? All right, we got 8 people. It's 7:41. Hopefully more people will show up, but that's okay. It's a busy time of year. I'm just happy you guys are here. Let me call in my youngest daughter. Youngest daughter?
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Come on over here, buddy. All right, this is Violet. We're going to do a drawing. She always helps me. She's good luck. Can everybody see her? Say hi to Violet. She's really excited about Christmas. She's wearing, we're big fans. What's this movie again?
The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nightmare Before. We're big Tim Burton fans, so she's wearing a Nightmare Before Christmas hat. It's Halloween and Christmas combined, which makes sense since we live in Salem and it's like Halloween every day. It's Halloween every day.
Halloween.
Speaking of Halloween, on my latest video for Patreon, I did brag on my daughter's drawing ability. So I gotta show you guys this.
What are you doing?
Oh, I hope you can. Oh, you're not gonna be able to see that because it's not gonna focus. I can lean in, and it will focus with me.
What are you doing?
Oh, I don't know. I'll post a screenshot on Patreon.
I think I can get close.
It's not. Yeah, it won't focus because it's trained on my face.
Trained on your face.
I know. I feel bad for that camera, don't you?
Oh no! No, you're beautiful.
Thanks.
On the inside.
People like your. Hey, Ken, welcome, welcome. Good timing, man. We're just about to do the drawing. All right. Here we go for the next lucky people who are going to be chosen.
I wonder who.
Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, Galax Lick. No drum rolls. Galax Lick roll, please. Pick the first one. Don't look. Here. Oh my gosh. I hope this guy's in the audience. This guy's a gem. This is because of the way I have this camera set up, you guys aren't gonna. Can you read that for me so they believe me? I'm not trying to cheat.
Hinkle.
Adam Hinkle. Adam Hinkle. Adam, you're chosen, buddy. Congratulations. Adam, if you don't know Adam, he has gone deep on music theory and has posted banjo-oriented music theory in the community section of Patreon on our Banjo Quest site. And he's done a beautiful job. He's also a really good player and he's always there. Give him, I don't know. This guy's a gem. I'm really psyched. Adam Hinkle, you have been chosen. Adam Hinkle! Okay.
Here we go again.
Violet is a diplomat. Except when she's not. Okay.
Wow, Dad, real mature.
Oh.
Robert.
Oh, this guy. Yes, Robert. I can't remember. Okay, Robert.
Wow.
So let me just. Sorry, I get distracted by the chat. I'm easily distracted. I can't remember. So some people at the keep level are funding me at the keep level and don't want a reward. And because there have been a couple people at that level who have emailed me privately and asked for no reward, I have honestly lost track of who doesn't want a reward, who wants a reward. And at this point, keeping track of this stuff is getting difficult. So Robert, I hope I'm going to butcher this name. Falligant? Robert Falligant is the next person who has been chosen. Robert, there's a little dim bulb in my mind. Yep, that makes me think that you were one of the ones who didn't want a reward, which is really nice. But anyway, you have been chosen, And if you don't want that reward, maybe I'll send you a CD and some strings instead because you were chosen. So, Robert. Okay. Love you, Robert. Here we go. Number 3. We're going to have to do
3. Go, yeah.
3. Go 3. Yeah.
Stephen
Kramer. Steve, I don't think Steve's out there. Steve Kramer has been chosen. Steve drives from Western Mass to take lessons with me, and he's such a nice guy. And he's, are you laughing?
Steve Kramer.
Yeah, you're really butchering these names. Steve Kramer, you have been chosen to submit a video for review. Dimple. Hey. Just because I said it about myself doesn't mean you get to call me a dim bulb, even though I am. Okay, we're doing a 4th. It's almost New Year's. It's Christmas. Let's go. Oh, Wade
Warner.
This guy is relatively new, but he and I have emailed and he's taken a lesson. He's a sweet, sweet guy. He also has one of the most banjo-y sounding names I've ever heard. His name is Wade Warner. Wade, you have been chosen to submit a video. If you are not out there, I will contact these people privately. Again, if you don't want your reward, if you want to pass on submitting a video, it's totally cool. It's totally up to you. I'll find another way to shower you with my appreciation. That is 4. Good job.
Bye, dim bulb.
Wow. Don't knock over my banjos.
Okay.
All right.
Dim bulb.
Bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
And now my daughter's calling me dim bulb. That's what I get. That's what I get. All right, so that is all 4 people who have been chosen this time. That is Adam Hinkle, Robert Falligant. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Stephen Kramer, Wade Warner have been chosen. Wade Ward. Yeah, that would be amazing. I feel like I need to do a 5th drawing, but maybe we'll save that till later. What do you guys think? Okay. What is everybody thinking about a couple things on my list tonight? I was curious, those of you, I know I just posted that video, but holding the neck, you know, if there's one thing that I feel like a lot of people struggle with, when I look at some people, actually a lot of people, including myself in the beginning, the left hand ends up feeling really artificial and looking kind of artificial and mangled on the instrument. So just to kind of drive it home, I think one of the most important things for good fretting attributes is having that space between the outside of your neck and the palm. In fact, what I was saying in the early days when I was teaching to try to drive this home is, do you remember that game of Operation from like the 70s? And it was like, you had to dig out these like organs of this patient who apparently was like awake. And if you bump the edge of those areas around the organs, they would make this horrible buzzing sound and his nose would light up. It's actually like this really horrific kind of idea. Somebody should make a movie about that. Or maybe not. Anyway, I like to think of this outside of the neck as one of those edges in that game of Operation where if you touch it, your nose lights up and buzzes, or you get an electric shock or something. I don't know. Maybe I should patent a banjo that has an electric wire on the outside and gives you like, you know, a couple thousand volts if you touch it. I don't know. If anybody thinks that's a good idea, let me know. You think that would sell? Anyway, the idea is if you're touching the outside of the neck, you're in a really collapsed position. And if you're collapsed into the banjo, a couple things happen. This wrist gets funky. It like turns, it does like this. And I'm always advocating neutral positions, which are positions that are, see this curve? Just that it's a very slight curve. I'm advocating those kind of shapes when you're dealing with the instrument. My right hand has this slight bend in it on the instrument. My left hand has this slight bend to it. So I'm just showing you moving up and down the neck a little bit with this sort of neutral shape. If you're doing this to fret the banjo, it impinges on all of the muscles that need to be able to fire really well in a dexterous way on the fretboard. So you need to, adding that little bit of a curve really helps. And so building air between the outside of the neck and your palm helps encourage you to get that curve going on. And it gets you off the board. So you're not supporting the neck with your fretting hand, and you're not muting that first string, which is another really common thing I see and hear. If you find when you're playing, this is super common, if you find when you're playing that you are muting some of your notes, I hear this all the time on the first string. It's often because you're playing in a collapsed position on the neck and your palm is muting that first string. The other thing that can happen is if your angle is not steep, meaning you're not driving in and out of that fretboard straight in, if it's more like that, you can mute with the pads of your finger inadvertently strings that are sort of on the low side of the neck. So it's a whole host of reasons why you want to avoid that line of the neck if at all possible. There are some people who I've taught who have super, super small hands, and they struggle with that. But usually for those people, I think it's better to sort of morph into a more classical guitar position with the thumb on the back of the neck versus the fiddle grip with the back of the neck in the palm, if that makes any sense. I'm going to catch up on chat. Let's see. People still calling me dim bulbs? If you're coming in late, make sure you click on the YouTube link and that will get you to the chat, and then we can interact, and that's always good. Oh, do the wired neck thing. How many banjos would that sell if we wired up the outside of a banjo to create electric shocks? Oh, God. Probably none. But banjo players are gluttons for punishment. How is everybody tonight? What I wanted to do, one of the other agenda items I had for our barbecue. Oh, Ken has something. Add hook up an electric dog bar collar. That could be also sold to the spouses of banjo players. Yeah. I know my wife would like that, and just to bzzz. Ken says, I find I'm not getting the drone to ring on the ditty if I get going faster, so I'm guessing that the thumb is somehow not getting off the string correctly. Was looking at your right hand position. Ooh. Ken, let me explore that idea. On the ditty. Ken, like a pattern like this? I use this pattern all the time. I love to make use of that low C string. It's so beautiful. Or if I'm capoed up to D, using that low drone is critical. Let me know if Ken, help me on your question. Okay. Sorry about the delay. There's a little delay in the chat, so it makes it a little difficult to interact. So Ken finds that he's not getting the drone to ring on the ditty if he gets going faster. Oh. By drone, I think Ken is talking about the fifth string. Is that correct? So he's guessing that the thumb is not getting off the string correctly. Yeah, that's probably it. I mean, you've got to make sure that you're clearing that. Hey, Sylvia, I just got your chat. Welcome. Thank you for being a patron and thank you for joining us tonight. Bemused by Banjo Quest. Well, that's good. That's better than being disgusted by it. But that would be okay too. I have thick skin. I'm okay. Welcome, Sylvia. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in. You guys can just chat away. Just whatever comes to mind, chat away. It's fine. It doesn't, just because there's a delay doesn't mean that you don't have to wait for me to finish. If you want to just ignore me and talk amongst yourselves, that's fine too. Just chat away and ask questions. Ken, yeah, I think it may be because you're not getting off that string enough. Of course, whenever you're investigating this stuff, it pays to slow it down. And here's an interesting concept. Something I learned through drumming. And it's a concept that I'm going to introduce in a Banjo Quest video, although I'm still kind of wrestling with how to introduce it. But it also goes way back to Banjo Blitz. So if you notice in Banjo Blitz, I play each exercise, and I do this with Banjo Quest too, I play each exercise at various tempos. And I've gotten a bunch of weird sort of aggro, angry comments about saying, you know, why do I demonstrate this stuff at faster tempos? Because YouTube allows you to speed and slow up a video. Speed and slow up, speed up and slow down a video. If you go to YouTube and you're watching any YouTube video, you go to the gear in the lower right-hand corner and you can slow things down or speed things up. It's an incredible tool for a musician. If you want to slow down a YouTube video and keep it on pitch, YouTube will maintain the pitch of that video even though you slow it down, which is really amazing. Usually you need some software, a third-party software program to do something like that. Anyway, I've gotten a couple of people complaining that I play at various tempos. And here's why I do it. Because as I ramp up my tempo, even though the basic mechanics stay the same, a subtle shift happens in the physicality of what I'm doing. My motions get way smaller, way smaller. And I start to let some things go in my mind. This is why I haven't made a video about it. I'm still working on articulating this idea. When I'm going slow, let's do a more complicated pattern. Let's take a look at an alternate string pull-off pattern. Yeah, that's a good one. If I'm using my deep listening skills, I'm listening for every note to be nice and full. Maintain that beautiful open eighth note pattern. Not speeding up, I'm really trying to get those even. But as I speed up, my attention turns to other things, like the pulse. I can't keep all those details in my mind anymore. And my motions get way smaller. That was not easy to do and talk at the same time. I can't believe that I Didn't crash and burn. Whew. I'm going to take a drink for that one. So this is all to say that as you, and this is all to address Ken's very good question, as you speed up, it's okay if your technique changes a little bit. It definitely needs to get smaller and more contained. You're using smaller motions. The volume may even go down a little bit. You can't maintain really high volume at speed. It's very, very difficult to do that and still sort of have a grace and flow within the pocket of the groove. So it's just something to think about, Ken. I know for me, with drumming, I had a really hard time breaking certain speed limits with certain rudiments, like my double strokes. And I won't get into all this too deep, but it really was a mental game because I was trying to preserve exactly what I was doing at slow tempos, at the fast tempos, until I realized that I had to let some details go out of my conscious thinking. And then I broke through my ceiling with my double stroke. Does that make sense to anybody? or is that just madness? I'm still trying to articulate this idea. Oh, 14. Welcome new people to the Banjo. We're only halfway through, so you've got plenty of time. I'm glad to have you all here. If you are joining us via Patreon, make sure you scroll down and click the YouTube link. That will take you out to YouTube, and then you can participate in the chat, which would be really nice because I want to hear from you lovely folks. Ken, did that help you, or did that make things worse? Feel like a surgeon. Sometimes I get in there and the patient is worse than when I started. It doesn't happen often, okay? But every once in a while, I confuse people. Yes, Ken, yes. And deep listening and be flexible. And Sean, so glad you made it. Sean, you were not chosen. But I'm thinking of choosing one more person by the end of this video. So if y'all think it's a good idea, maybe we'll go for 5. And I think one of the guys I chose doesn't want the reward. So I don't know though. I don't know. I'm so glad to have you with us, Sean. Yeah, so Ken, deep listening, but when you get up to speed, the deep listening has to give way. You're listening for other things. It's a shift of focus, if that makes any sense. Hopefully that does. Okay, so what I wanted to do in between questions tonight, more questions, guys, more questions. Questions. Ask. Booyah. I'm really happy to have you with us, Sean. Okay. Ooh, more people pouring in. Ken says, you've helped make it better. A year ago, I couldn't play. Now I'm actually feeling good about it. And most is attributed to Banjo Blitz and Quiet. Wow, Ken, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Jerry! Hi, Jerry! Tone rings, go. I knew it. Yes. Okay. So, as you guys know, I have a new banjo. This is the Ohm Tupelo. It's Ohm's cheapest instrument. I mean, they are not cheap, guys. I'm not sponsored by them. I pay full retail for this stuff, just so you guys know. And I've thought about seeking out sponsorships and that sort of thing, but something in me just wants to remain independent and get the instruments I love and not worry about all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm happy. I'm independent and I'm happy. So I guess that's all there is to that. So I paid full retail for this, but I did compare it to a ton of other banjos, and these are amazing. Even for that amount, I think I paid $2,100 or something around there. Not cheap by any means, but compared to a comparable guitar, you'd be spending lots more than that. I think, you'd probably be easily in the $3,000 to $5,000 range for a comparable guitar. But this is a 12-inch pot with a wooden tone ring, okay? So I thought it would be fun tonight to compare. It's not quite a fair comparison because the Omega is an 11-inch pot, but this has a metal tone ring. So I thought I would just play a few bars in a couple different tunes, comparing a metal tone ring by the same maker to a wooden tone ring. Let me catch up on chat and I will answer them. Let's see. Before I know Ad's chomping at the bit to hear the metal versus wood. I mean, it's such a cool experiment, right? Let's see. Delay. Yes, Mark, delay. There's a huge delay. Yes, it's very weird. It's very weird. It's weird. It's weird on this end. Let's see. Light or medium gauge strings. Terry asks, light or medium gauge, which is best for clawhammer? I am a medium gauge guy. Even though the strings of choice are my Bill Keiths, they are called medium lights, but they really feel like mediums to me. I like a thicker string because it holds. I can be kind of heavy sometimes with my right hand, and I find that the medium strings give me more volume and they hold up, especially to slap banjo. Slap banjo techniques, they just hold up a little bit better. The sound is a little fatter. I'm a medium guy all the way. Medium guy all the way. Sylvia asks, what's the difference between an 11-inch and a 12-inch pot? Well, the size. No, I'm kidding. That was not very funny. I find that 12-inch pots tend to favor lower notes. I heard somebody say that 12-inch pots are louder, but in my experience, that is not the case. 11-inch pots tend to be, in my experience, more focused. They have a more, focused tone, meaning there's not quite as many overtones. So I guess you could say 12-inch pots may have a richer tone, but in my experience, and this is very true in the experience of making the album, Sinful to Flirt, richer is not always better, because richer tones have a tendency to, if they're too rich, it can tend towards the muddy end of the spectrum. And one of the issues we had when we were recording Sinful to Flirt was that the banjo had too much sound. So in that album, in order to get it to sound more natural, and this is so funny, but in order to get it to sound more natural, more like what sort of we wanted the sound to sound like in a string band or a duet context, we had to carve away with an equalizer. We had to carve away some of the banjo tone because it was sort of swamping the sound, and it was lacking clarity. So I live down the street from this really lovely guy, a buddy of mine, who is an amazing sound guy for the Boston Symphony Orchestra, and he helped me dial in the banjo tone for that album. And one of the things we did was remove sound, which is counterintuitive. You think, oh, richer is better, more sound is better, but it tends to be that that's not always the case. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, that was a long explanation of 11-inch and 12-inch pots. If you're asking what I have a preference for, Sylvia, I don't have a preference. I love them for different reasons. And so for me, it's different tools for different jobs. But I do think a 12-inch pot is a little bit more low end, and an 11-inch pot has a little bit more focus. And I think an 11-inch pot gives me a little bit more projection. Your mileage may vary. Let me catch up on the chat, and then I'll play for you, comparing these two instruments. Oh, yeah, Sylvia caught. Yeah, right. Ad's looking at a 12-inch with a Dobson. That's going to be a really mellow, sort of golden rich tone. Dobsons are very mellow, and they're very beautiful. With a Dobson, I found that a tight head on that Dobson can give you a little bit of clarity, Ad, and also you can experiment with bridge types to get you more clarity if you find that it's not clear enough. But I love a Dobson tone ring, man. Love it. And I know Adam Hurt plays with a Dobson. I don't know if it's an 11 or 12, and his tone is just like from the gods. It's so beautiful. Sean says, I've had my banjo for a year so far. At what point should I change the strings and get it serviced? The play. Okay, I'm laughing because a year for strings is a really long time for most instruments. But for banjo, Sean, I find that my strings aren't broken in for at least 3 months. They start to get a little bit less metallic-y in the 3 to 4 month mark, and I've had my strings on for as long as 6 months to 7 months even, and I play every day throughout the whole day, and I'm constantly tuning because students come in and out with different tuned banjos, so I tune to them to save lesson time. So my strings are constantly being stretched and different tunings. It's like a torture chamber for strings in here. And I keep my strings for about 6 months. So a year is long. A year is a little bit long. I think you should change your strings. Servicing banjos, unless you're having a problem, I wouldn't worry about it. Unless you live near Bill Rickard. Am I pronouncing that right? I know you're in Canada, Sean. Are you near Rickard Banjos or Rickard? That guy is amazing. So if I lived closer to a banjo wizard like that, I would probably be in for tweaks and stuff, setup tweaks every year or so. But unless you're having a problem, don't worry about servicing it. Yeah, if it sounds the same, sorry, now I'm just reading the end of your comment. I probably should have read the whole thing. Sean, if the banjo sounds the same as it did a year ago, don't get it serviced. Changing strings is good. Try those Bill Keith strings. I think you're going to like it. Do you use medium lights on the fretless? They sound amazing on the fretless. Yes, I use those Bill Keith steels. I use on every steel strung banjo I own. Sean says the place that made it, can't type, makes me fret. Okay. Jerry, after the tone ring experiments, let us know how to set up the instrument post new strings. Okay, Jerry. Fretless sounds, yeah. Try medium strings. You're going to get more clarity, I think, Wes. Ricard, yeah. I'm right down the road from him. Oh, he made it. Sean, you live near Bill Rickard? That's amazing. You're so lucky. Yeah, gosh. Okay, unless you're having problems, don't take it to him. But the fact that you live near him is really amazing. His metalwork, his banjos are really stellar. I played one at the Music Emporium. It was a 12-inch tubaphone. It was for $13.50. I think it was used. If they still have it, somebody should buy it because it was such a good instrument. Sylvia says, it's 2 p.m. here, 20 degrees Celsius. I should be out gardening. Running on the beach? It's really cold here. Not so cold. Why am I sitting inside being totally fascinated? Stay with us, Sylvia. Don't go run on the beach. You can do that anytime. This is better. Here's to you, Sylvia. All right. Guys, this scotch is awesome. Okay, here it is. Comparison. I'm not going to take time to get them exactly the same pitch. So this isn't a... All right, what am I going to play? If anybody can name that song, they get a gold star for the night. I don't know why I just played a song and I haven't played in a while. I probably should have picked one I've been practicing. Sorry about the flubs. All right, here we go. Wes, nice work. Yes. Good job. Good job. Beautiful. And let me try a little bit of a slower tune. We'll go back to this. Let's see. I want to do Say Darlin' Say. Back to the wood pot. Here we go. Does that help? Does that help? So I would characterize this as just sort of more mellow, a little bit more quiet, a little bit more bassy. There's a lot of bass coming out of the instrument. I don't know if that's coming across with the resolution of the audio, because I can't stream in full resolution or it's too slow. So hopefully you guys can hear a difference in the studio here. The difference is huge. It's absolutely huge. It's they're totally different animals. Although with the ohms, the nice thing, and one of the reasons I bought this Tupelo is it feels very similar to the Omega to play. So I don't really have to make a mental adjustment if I'm switching between the instruments. It's just, it feels very natural. The only real difference with the fretting of the Omega is that the Omega is radius. I don't know if all of you guys know that. There is a subtle radius on there. If you sight down that with me, I don't know if you can see that very subtle curve to the fretboard. It just makes the instrument really, really comfortable to play. It's not a huge advantage. Like I don't know. It's nice though. It's really nice. It feels really good. Let me catch up on chat, everybody. All these Canadians, I tell you, trouble, pure trouble. Terry says, a lot of Galax licks. Hell yeah, I love some Galax licks. Sean says, add the banjo special is taking place. Okay, they're talking about Canadian stuff. Ooh, it's awesome. Arnie Naiman, love him. Chris Cool is amazing. I don't know Chris Quinn and Brian Taheny. I don't know those guys. I'll look them up. I love Arnie Naiman and Chris Cool. They are so amazing. Okay, Transact Club website. Cool. Nice. Your characterization is accurate, but the difference isn't absolutely huge. Yeah, Mark, I bet if you were sitting in this room with me, you would, yeah, it would probably be different. From my ears, like here in the studio, it's a big difference, but I think something's probably getting lost. There, with Ohm, there is, they do have sort of a similar something ineffable that I can't describe in the tone. They are in the same family, I guess, even though one is an 11-inch with a metal tone ring and the other is a wood with a 12-inch wood tone ring. I don't know how they do that, but they're in the same tonal family for sure. Let me catch up on chat. Sylvia says, actually, she thinks it's the musician that's playing it rather than the banjo. Yeah. Yep. Sylvia, you are tuning in from New Zealand right now? That is amazing to me. That is totally amazing. Oh, so it's like summer there. That's why you were saying, so you're talking about running on the beach. That is awesome. You don't have to do this, but if you post a New Zealand picture with a banjo on the community aspect, the community side of Patreon at some point, like a New Zealandy, I don't know, a banjo next to something New Zealandy, a Kiwi, I don't know. That's probably incredibly stereotypical. You can pick on me if you want, Sylvia. You can mock me. You can mock my ignorance. I give you full permission. It's Summer for Sylvia. Summer for Sylvia? That'd be a good Sylvia, if you ever do a banjo album, Summer for Sylvia would be a good one. I love alliteration. I'd buy that album. Anyway, that's so cool that we have a New Zealander with us tonight. It just makes me feel so happy. Let's see, catching up. Yeah, so guys, who else? Mark said there wasn't a huge difference. Anybody else chiming in on the difference between? You wanted to hear these tone rings side by side. I am planning on doing a metal versus wood tone ring video where we get full resolution audio. It's well recorded, and so you'll be able to hear the difference a little bit better. Just catching up on chat. Oh, Emily! Hey! Hey, Emily. Since we've got some late arrivals, I've drawn 4 names. Why don't I just draw a 5th? Or is that too... Let me know what you think in the comments. Should I draw a 5th name for the choosing? So that last tune I played, that was Say Darlin' Say. And Say Darlin' Say, if you... Oh, good, Ad. I'm glad you could hear a difference. That's great. Say Darlin' Say is a... I was thinking of like Christmas songs to talk about tonight. We're going to do Breaking Up Christmas in the next couple weeks. We're taking a break from the Old Time Jam Survival Guide. And because I wanted you guys to get a fun tune that is in the Christmas tradition for Christmas time. So that's why we're doing Breaking Up Christmas. And that is a really... I get requests to teach that tune a lot. So that's why I'm doing it. But another really good Christmas tune is Say Darlin' Say. And it's in double C, or it's actually in D. But I think it sits nice in double C if your voice can sing in that key. It's a really nice, especially if you're playing solo. Some other lyrics too. That's double C. I'm playing it in C. It's normally played in D, but I think it sounds, if you're playing solo, I've been trying to sing more of my D songs in double C, sort of to prep for some solo stuff. So that's why I'm kind of moving all my D tunes to double C and getting used to singing in that lower key. Because I think it's warmer, it has that really low C. It's just lovely solo. When a band, Mark Nierenberg will probably agree with me, a banjo in double C tuning, not capoed, with voice is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So let's see. I'm still working on this arrangement, guys. I'm giving you kind of a sneak peek. And now I'm forgetting some of my lyrics. Let's see. Hush, little baby, if you was mine. Say, little diamond. Yeah. Buy you a mockingbird. Say, darling, say. And if that mockingbird won't sing, Daddy's gonna buy you a diamond ring. Say, darling, say. And if that diamond ring turns brass, Daddy's gonna buy you a looking glass. If that looking glass gets broke, Daddy's gonna buy you a billy goat. Say, darling, say. Hush, little baby, if you was mine, you wouldn't do nothing but starch and iron. Starch and iron would be your trade. And I'd get drunk and lay in the shade. Say, darling, say. Work in progress, but you can see where my mind is at with Say, Darling, Say. I'm working on that. That's a great Christmas song because it goes through all the gifts and giving and sort of that kind of love that you want to give to the person that you love. So I think it's very, it's in the Christmas spirit at least. So it's one of my favorite Banjo Christmas songs, even though it doesn't like say Christmas in it. I don't know. What do you think? Thanks, Sylvia. I like singing higher because it puts me at the edge of my range, and I like that tension, and it's sort of high and lonesome, and I can kind of belt more. But as I tune lower, I can get more resonance going with the instrument. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I am trying to keep my options open as I plan for this solo banjo album project that I'm still in the throes of arranging for. And I want to do a lot of that kind of stuff. Let me catch up with chat. Mark says, on my Romero, use double C intervals to tune to A since I characteristically keep that banjo. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The 13-inch pot. That banjo's a beast. So that doesn't surprise me, Mark. I would be playing to those strengths as well with that. Wes says, I think so. Spent a long time playing with lights in D for the sound of C, G solo. Yeah, me too. Yep. Sean says, love it. Think I could manage that. Yeah. It's not difficult. And Sean, for you, I'll run through a super straight version so you can refer back to this video and learn it. So I would do something like. Something like that, Sean, will be a good entry for you, and then you can go back to the earlier version that I played and kind of spice it up. But that's like an entry level version just to get the tune under your fingers in a quick way, and you can spice it up later with some interesting techniques. I'm kind of drawing out some of the measures to match what I'm singing, so you could take those kind of ideas and run with it as well. It's a really easy tune to learn. Yeah, really good one. Let's see. Let me catch up. Emily says, I like to tune down to double A or double B for singing. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. You might try... The thicker the string, the more tension the string carries. So you might be able to string it up with a heavy set, and at that relative tension, at that relative tuning, your strings will be a little bit more under tension, Emily, and that may help you combat the buzz. But it is definitely one of the problems. It's one of the reasons why someone like Pete Seeger used a long neck banjo. Those long neck banjos are really unwieldy, but I've heard a couple recently that from the 60s that are, whoo, they sound so good. They really sound great. But they are reaching out that far can be really tiring. I have my minstrel banjo, the big one that I played on Sinful to Flirt for Ryland Spencer has, I think it's a 31-inch scale, super long, and I run out of juice after a while playing on it because it's just that scale length so huge and my arms like way out. And I have like ape-like arms that are really long, and I still get really tired playing those long scale lengths. Anyway, let me catch up. Festivus song. I love Seinfeld ad. Let's see. Mark's and Emily, heavier strings to tune low. Yeah, yeah. Oh, those are pretty heavy. That 10 though, Emily, that 10, that's, you may want to, yeah, that 10 is pretty light for a fifth string. I like 11s or higher for fifth string. 11 and a halfs are nice. So try that. What about I'm still experimenting with nylon strunged instruments on regular banjos, not on crazy scale length banjos like my minstrel and my gourd. The gourd has a really small scale length. You may try, Emily, using nylon strings to get a lower tone. I don't know if there are any nylon experts in the audience, gut strings or whatever, chime in and let me know if that is totally not right. I'm still experimenting with nylon strings. I'm really a steel string guy, unless I'm on one of my minstrel or the gourd. Let's see, big frets at the end of the, yeah, hard to manage on a long neck. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Oof. Last gulp of whiskey. What else, guys, as we wrap up? Any questions, comments, thoughts? Anything? Let me know. I know there's a delay, so forgive the delay. Yeah, Nile Gut. Well, I think Nile Gut's going to help you, Emily. And if you, Emily, if you, let me step away from, this is going to be super awkward. Yes, I'm going to show her that. I'm going to step away to grab the set of strings I wanted to show Emily, but I have to look at the camera the whole time because it's doing face recognition. And if I look away, I'll lose focus. So this is going to be super awkward. But I'm looking at the camera while I do this. Don't lose me. Oh my God, it's like Mission Impossible, but for banjos. Banjo Impossible. That'd be a good name for an album. Does it still have my focus? Yeah, not bad. Emily, Classic Red Series. You're going to have to zoom in with your monitor. Classic Red Series by Aquila is what I've been experimenting with. That's, I think, what Ad recommended. So try those out. And of course, I've said this a million times before, but my favorite strings are the Bill Keith medium lights. I'm not endorsed by them. I buy them full retail just like everybody else, and I think they are fantastic. Medium light Bill Keiths. I buy them at 20 at a time, 20 packs at a time. From elderly.com, by the way. They give you a discount if you buy large quantities. So I'm swimming in these strings. I love them. They have the little fuzzy chenilles. It's kind of cool. Try those, Emily. And if you do, Emily, report back to us. Post a video in the Banjo Quest Facebook area. If you do. So we can see you play low-tuned banjos with these strings. I'd love to see that. Minstrel series are much better for tuning low. Those are probably fatter strings. So these strings, Emily, and for everybody else, the advantage of the Aquila Reds is that you don't have to switch out banjo nuts and you don't have to switch out your bridge because they are basically the same diameter. They're a little thicker, but they will fit your nut and your bridge without any modifications on your banjo. If you get the minstrels, those are fat and you're going to have to file out your nut and your bridge in order for them to sit properly. So to me, that's a major disadvantage if you just want to experiment. Try these, see where that gets you, and then go from there. Let's scroll back. What Sylvia says, I'm discovering that what tuning I use is dictated by the song. Yeah, pitch, in terms of pitch. You know, if you're a singer, you really want to pay attention to that because everybody's voice favors different keys. And if you want to sing and play the banjo, you want to play in the key that's easiest for you to sing. Some people have certain ranges that are really just not an option. So never shy away from tuning to your voice unless you're playing in a string band or jam situation, and then don't do that because that would be rude. Just play it in the standard key, the common key that the tune is in. But for singing, all bets are off. Always play to your strengths and play to your voice. Let's see. Minstrels are fatter strings. Yes. Sylvia says, oh God, string gauges. I don't know what that means, but I agree. Ad says, heads up, take a while to break in. They stretch a lot. Ad, yes, I was alarmed. I thought my strings were broken. But it was just that they weren't broken in. They take a lot of winding to break them in. Ad is totally right on the money for that. Sean's got to change his strings. I still have a pair of pants I had in 8th grade. Hang on to things, not always for the best. Yeah, that's odd. Okay, guys, we're almost out of time. We are out of time, but you guys are cool. And I love hanging with you. So what the hell? What if I drew one more name for tonight? Sean's in the audience. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it for him. Everybody say whatever prayers, pray to the gods that you believe in for Sean to be chosen. Or if you don't want Sean to be chosen, then, you know, call in a favor from somebody. Sean's been with me for a while, so I'd love to pick him right now. Galaxlick, please. Ooh, this name's interesting. Very interesting. It's not Sean. You'll get chosen, Sean. It is a statistical certainty, as Herring McPickles told us so many moons ago. Lynn Davis is up. That is the 5th one. Lynn Davis, and I'll post that. Congratulations, Lynn. And thank you for being a patron at the highest level. That is awesome. Keeping the lights on here at Banjo Quest headquarters. I love it. Sean, you'll be chosen. Anything else before we close out? The delay. Oh, Sean. It will be you at some point. Any last minute things before we close out this evening? Lay it on me. Oh, I should say, I was supposed to have a special guest tonight. John Anderson, my fiddle buddy who did Sinful to Flirt with me, was going to join me, but things fell through. It's such a busy time of year that it's just hard to make things happen like that. So he couldn't make it. But for January, my hope is our January barbecue, we will have John here and we'll perform for you. And you can ask him questions about the fiddle and how to play with the fiddle and the fiddle's role versus the banjo role in old-time duets, that kind of thing. So you can look forward to that for January, for the barbecue in January. And there will be more information about that on the Patreon site. Good, Sean. You get, yeah, it's a blessing. To not get chosen can be a blessing. Ken, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays to everybody. I'm so glad to have you guys with me. These kind of things are so much fun to do, and I want to do more of them. So I'm just, I'm getting better and better at doing them, and there will be lots more of these in the future. I'm planning on having some other special guests. So John will appear in January, and then I've got some ideas from some additional guests that will be appearing in the live stream sessions as well. So tune into those. Let me catch up on chat before I close out. Sylvia, thanks for a very diverting time. I'm off to the beach in great humor. Thank you. Sylvia, Have a great time on the beach. Soak up the sun for me, please. I'm in the Northeast and I have a long, dark winter in front of me, but winter is my favorite season, so I can't complain. I love the dark and I love the cold. I don't know what that says about me. Ad says, Merry Christmas, Tom and fellow banjo players. Ad, thank you so much for being a patron, and Merry Christmas to you. Sean says, Tom, thanks for everything you do for all of us. It's a pleasure and an honor to be a part. Sean, it is an honor to have you amongst us. I feel so privileged to know you guys. This has taken on a life of its own. Banjo Quest has really taken on a life of its own. We're closing in on 170 active patrons. The attrition rate has been extraordinarily low, way, way, way lower than the average. And I think our number is between 97 and 98% of people have stayed with us over the course of, I've retained 97 and 98% of the people. To me, that is a huge vote of confidence in the project. And it's just, I didn't expect this. So I really appreciate each and every one of you supporting this project. And I have lots of stuff planned. So hang on to your hats and your banjos tightly. Mark Nierenberg, look into doing this via Zoom for January. Mark, I will look into it. But again, the marriage between YouTube and Patreon makes this really convenient. So I'd have to investigate that aspect. I will look into it though. Thank you for that recommendation. Emily says, I wish we could all be on tiny Skype screens or something. Emily? Ooh, should I say this? I don't know. So I'm thinking of at the very last couple minutes here, several people, there are a couple of you in the audience tonight who are contributing at a higher level than than exists in my reward scheme. And there are people outside of this chat who are also among those people who are contributing more than the $10 rate. I am planning on introducing a new level to reward those of you who are going above and beyond, and to also basically create a Banjo Quest council and a secret advising council, because Banjo Quest is getting so large in scope and there's so much material now, over 50 videos, that I have lots of plans for future stuff, including a Banjo Blitz book and other things. And I want to get some of you involved in that. Those of you who want to be at the higher level of a reward system. So anyway, just some thoughts, just an idea. If you have any ideas about that, you can contact me privately. Yeah, all that. That will be revealed in due time. It's exciting. And part of that might be that we could do some live Skype sessions where we are all visible and we can share ideas all together. It won't be just me talking at a screen with chat, but we could maybe do a monthly thing with a small group of people where we can actually share music and I can see you play and give you direct feedback, that kind of thing. I'm still looking into this. I need to make sure it makes sense for both my patrons and me. So, but I'm excited about it, and I think it could work. Anyway, let's see. More Barnes says, thank you. Thank you. Good night. Wes, 140, you are a trooper. You are a trooper. Thanks for sticking with me. Ad, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you guys. Stay tuned. Lots of videos coming. Breaking Up Christmas is next. I'm going to give you guys a nice, simple version, not on a fretless, so you can learn it on your fretted instruments and play it over the holidays. And then I will teach you a fretless version, because maybe some of you are going to get fretless instruments for the holidays. I don't know. And I'm going to do a whole fretless sort of a instructional series, a mini module for Banjo Quest for just fretless banjos. And yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye. I'm going to try to fade this out in a really professional way. You probably can still hear me, so I guess it's not that professional. Okay, muting the mic.